I am thou, thou art I, and thou art watching my review of Persona 5 Strikers. Right away, I have to say, I love Persona 5. I bought the Japanese version back in 2016 and really liked it. I bought the English version the following year and loved it even more. This game is so great. You have tons of great characters, an awesome plot, really amazing style and flair, and tons of content that will keep you busy for a long time. I fell in love with this game, and I even have a Persona 5 poster on my wall. It's right next to a Betraying the Martyrs poster and Gunbird 2, two other things that I really enjoy. With Persona 5's success, we got spin-off games, crossovers, including Joker in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, spin-off things such as an anime series, a manga, and I think there's a stage play. But now we have a proper follow-up to the story of Persona 5 with Persona 5 Strikers. And I was all about this game when it was first announced because you have the Persona series, which I really like, and you have the Muso series in here as well, which is also really good, and it's on the Nintendo Switch, which is even better. So I just had to get this game, and now I'm going to review it for you, the nice people at home. But before I get into the review, why don't you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. Those two simple clicks really help this channel grow. And if you want to see the Japan not seen in Persona, you can follow me on the social media. Twitter, Instagram at Zmings, you know what it is. And with that out of the way, let's take your heart. Dig that music and dig that art. Persona 5 Strikers follows the events of Persona 5 Royale, a game that I didn't play. I played Vanilla 5 and I loved it, but missed Royale because I didn't have an extra 100 hours to spare. Anyway, half a year has passed since the events of Royale, and the Phantom Thieves reunite to go on a road trip during summer vacation. Before heading out, Joker, Ryuji, and Morgana find themselves in the metaverse again. Accused of being the reason behind a new mass change of hearts, the Phantom Thieves band together once more to see why these changes of hearts are happening, and to see what these new jails are about. To put it simply, Persona 5 Strikers is what Final Fantasy X-2 was to 10, or whatever the hell that lightning crap was to Final Fantasy 13. Strikers is the direct sequel to the original title. And Strikers did cause a lot of controversy when it was first announced. Persona 5 on PC and Switch, but it's a Warriors game, not the actual RPG? Bullshit! How could Alice do this? Alice, more like Fatless. Thankfully, Omega Force took the Persona formula, incorporated the endlessly enjoyable Muso formula, and made a game worthy to be the sequel to the legendary RPG. And I've got to say right away, I love the Switch port of this game. Despite the lower resolution, it runs very smooth in both handheld mode and docked mode, and looks great thanks to a strong art direction. Hell, it runs better than Striker's sister game, Age of Calamity, also developed by Omega Force. Don't these guys know I can run Persona 5 Strikers at 120 frames per second and in 4K on my $2,000 computer? We do, and that's why nobody's talking to you right now, man. I'll talk about the gameplay later, but first let's get the plot stuff out of the way. As mentioned, Strikers follows the events of 5 Royale, which is fine for me as someone who played vanilla Persona 5. However, this game is coming to the Switch and PC, two systems that didn't get the original 5, at least legally. So the question is, will newcomers to the Persona universe be a bit lost? Maybe. Despite being a direct sequel, the story in Strikers is very much self-contained. There might be some terminology that gets lost, you might be lost on everyone's backstory, but as you spend more time in the game with the Phantom Thieves and enjoy your road trip together, you slowly but surely get to know everybody. For veterans of Persona 5, you get more interaction between the thieves themselves, and you aren't pressured to max out everyone's social links for 1,000,000 characters in limited time. Despite being a follow-up to Persona 5, this game is, interestingly enough, more accessible than vanilla Persona 5, which was already easier to get into than OG Persona 4 or 3. For one, Strikers is much shorter. Second, social links aren't here as mentioned. Instead, you got the band system. The more you help out your buddies in battle, do events in the cities, the more your band increases, and you can spend band points on passive buffs in and out of battle. Some might lament the loss of links in this game. I think it's good for the kind of game that Strikers is. On the downside, this means you can't bang any of the girls in the Persona 5 world. You think that a crew with 3 boys and 4 girls, there would be some fugging, but nah. And honestly, Ryuji seems like the kind of guy who would be afraid of sex, like, and you're attractive and all, but I'm just not ready to stick my pee-pee into your vagina. Yusuke would be like, a snatch! I must fetch my art tools. Joker is the only one of the Phantom Thieves who fucks, confirmed. For the record, my girl in Vanilla 5 was Haru, for both the financial security, and I think she'd be the wildest in bed. Besides Takemi, but if you went home with Takemi, there is a good chance that you would wake up with a kidney missing.
Oh, for the love of not again!
One thing that makes Persona is the characters, and you get a lot of character in Strikers. For one, the other thieves, particularly Haru and her 5-head, get much more development and screen time, and that was a complaint a lot of people had with Vanilla 5. In the first game, the squad didn't spend a lot of time together outside of the dungeons, so it was nice seeing the thieves be kids and enjoy their time together. Morgana isn't a total dick to my guy Ryuji, and isn't sipping over Anne the entire time. Everybody is quirky, but likable in their own ways. It's like, hey, that's what it would be like if I had more than 2 friends in high school, and I didn't look like a total disaster. Yep, that's me. I was a gormless, greasy fuck back in the day. I know a lot of you watching have a goal of visiting Japan in the future, and I'm sure you had plans, but Corona Chad said, nah, dog. Well, you can now visit the land of the rising sun from the comfort of your underwear with Persona 5 Strikers. This is a road trip after all, and we gotta see the country. You visit many cities in Japan. Besides the familiar Shibuya, you go to places like Sendai, Kyoto, Sapporo, and more. I wonder if the tourism industry had a hand in financing this title. It's fun for me because I've been to a lot of these places and I could be like, hey, I've gotten too drunk there before. So everybody, if you want to see Japan, remember, wear your mask and we can all get through this way faster. And as much as I like the vibe of Strikers, there are a few ideas the plot presents, but it doesn't quite deliver on. Like, hey, these 2 characters have some history together, I wonder if we'll come back to them, but nah. And for a road trip game, you only visit one place from a previous title and nothing major happens. There was a major missed opportunity to tie in previous Persona games to 5. Even just a few threads for the jizzloppers to make conspiracy theories out of and annoy people with on Twitter. That would have been really nice. I do got a question though. If Joker goes pee-pee in the Velvet Room, does he go pee-pee in his bed, or does he wake up not having to go pee-pee? And if he goes pee-pee in the Velvet Room, does the girl watch him go pee-pee? These are questions we need answering. I've talked enough about the plot and characters of Strikers, so how's the gameplay? Well, and I have to say, it's great. I've been playing a lot of Musou games recently between Senran Kagura and Age of Calamity, both excellent games in their own right. Strikers is a Musou game, don't get it wrong, but it has a lot of Persona flair to make it unique. Unlike other games in the Musou franchise, you aren't ass blasting through the jail, slaughtering everything that moves. You gotta plan your attacks and get the jump on the shadows. Exploiting weaknesses and team coordination is key. Got to think about weaknesses, buffs, debuffs, combos, and all that jazz to make it through. It sounds like a lot, and to be perfectly honest with you, it took a bit for me to get into the swing of battle. I'm playing on the normal difficulty, which is a reasonable challenge. I did fall in battle quite a few times during the first jail, but after that I cleaned up my act. Everybody plays very unique from each other. Joker and Yusuke are fairly balanced, Sophie and Anne have good range, Ryuji and Haru are a bit slower but hit hard, Makoto and Morgana lack range but have buffs and healing, and everybody has their unique skills and abilities from Persona 5, though half a year off from the metaverse means you got to relearn your skills again. Pro tip, SP items are valuable. Make sure you have plenty of them to go around. Persona 5 Strikers does do that annoying thing where if you don't have anyone that can exploit a boss's weakness, the battles just drag on for way too long. It was easier to get killed, get some SP items, change my team, then go back to the boss fight, then dragging out a boss fight. That said, if you're good about min-maxing Joker and fusing personas, Joker should be able to fill any gap you need despite the situation. As much fun as it is to beat up opponents, you still gotta be on your toes, otherwise the thieves get their shit packed in. You gotta sit down and learn patterns. Button mashing will get you nowhere fast. And if your squad is hurting, don't be afraid to leave the jail for a bit and heal up. There's no time limits on the jails themselves, the days move along as the plot progresses. So take some time, grind out some requests, stack up on cash and consumables, then take on the kings of these jails. And this is just a minor thing. You can only have 4 people in the jail at a given time, and one of them has to be Joker. That's fine, it's just like the base game. But when you're selecting a skill and need to change to another character, you can't just move to that character's skill list without passing the baton first. A minor inconvenience, but still. I found the combat very enjoyable, and it really feels like they just took the original game from Persona 5, changed it from a turn-based RPG to a Muso game, and bam, there's your game, and it works very, very, very well. For those who complain about Muso games being mindless button mashers, try Persona Strikers. I think it might change your mind. And I gotta say, I was very impressed with Persona 5 Strikers. Omega Force is a weird company. When you give them something unique to work on, they can make gold. But when they're left to their own devices, you get, well, this.
You could let it play itself, then go into another room and have a wank. And that would be a better night in than actually playing this piece of spunk.
But Strikers isn't like that piece of trash. Strikers was made with the love and care one would expect from the Persona franchise, and I think anyone will enjoy this game. Plus, it's nice spending summer vacation in Japan and not being a greasy bastard as soon as I leave my apartment. So there's my review of Persona 5 Strikers, and I gotta say, this game definitely exceeded expectations. It runs great, it plays great, you got a lot of characters and a lot of content here, and you cannot go wrong with this title. Plus, the DLC isn't a total rip-off like other Atlas and Koei Tecmo games. So, what I can say is, I give this game a full recommendation. I wonder what they're going to do with the series next. Maybe they'll do a crossover with Dragon Quest in the future, that may be pretty cool, or maybe have a bullet hell shooter, that would be really dope too, but we'll see what happens. I can definitely see Alice doing a lot more with the Persona franchise going forward. And maybe we'll get that Rockin' Cats port one of these days. Anyway, guys, you're the best. So let me know down there in the comments if you're going to pick this game up. Who did you romance in the original Persona 5? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, why don't you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. And hit me up on the social media, Twitter, Instagram at Zmings. And someone on Discord asked me what the shirt is from. It's from a band called Earthist, really cool metalcore band if you're into that. So check that out, and check out some more videos on my YouTube channel. And with that, I sign off. Take care, everybody, and see you next time.